Dodgers win the series against the Yanks and split with the Mets. We'll cover the last 7 days of Dodgers action with game recaps, news, opinion, and stats. Welcome to the Dodgers Diner. Okay, guys, real quick, let's wrap up the week's action. Friday night, the Dodgers beat the Yankees 8-5. Shohei versus Judge. The MVP showdown lived up to the hype. Both guys went deep in the first inning, but Ohtani wasn't done. He added another moonshot later, and the Dodgers pulled away with a huge 6th-inning rally. Gonsolin gave up 4 homers, but the bullpen cleaned it up just enough. Vesia shut the door, and the Dodgers grabbed the opener. Not a Picasso on the mound, but a big win. The next night, Dodgers 18, Yankees 2. This one was just plain fun, unless you were a Yankees fan. Dodgers hung 21 hits and 5 homers on the Yankees. Muncy matched 2 homers himself. Freddie and Teo joined the party, and even Kike pitched the 9th for a little comic relief. It was a beatdown from inning 1. Sunday was Yanks 7, Dodgers 3. All right, so maybe we were getting a little too cocky after Saturday. Yamamoto looked human. Lots of traffic on the bases, and he couldn't even get out of the 4th inning. Yarbrough stifled our bats, and the Yanks got some revenge to avoid the sweep. Still taking 2 of 3 from New York, I'll take it every time. Monday, the Mets came to town and beat us in 10 innings 4-3. This one hurt. Ohtani tied it up late with another bomb because, of course, he did. But the Dodgers left way too many guys on base, 10 in total. Alvarez's double in extras was the backbreaker off of, you guessed it, Tanner Scott. Just one of those games where the opportunities were there, but the big hit didn't come. Moving on to my game of the week, June 3rd, Dodgers 6, Mets 5 in 10 innings. Muncy was on fire, 2 home runs, including a game-tying blast in the 9th. Then Freddie walked it off with a double in the 10th. The pen picked up Kershaw, who didn't have his sharpest stuff. 20th comeback win already for the squad. Resilient is the word I would use. The next night, the Dodgers lost 6-1. This was a total clunker. Griffin Canning shut down the Dodgers for 6 innings. Where did that come from? Pete Alonso took Gonsolin deep twice. Andy Pages broke up the shutout late, but this one was never really close. Let's just move on. And finally, June 5th against the Mets, Dodgers 6, Mets 5. Another comeback special. Down 5-3 late, the Dodgers rallied in the 8th. Clutch hits and a Mets defensive mess at home plate helped. Conforto drove in the go-ahead run, his first since March. Or early April. I think it's early April. Mookie was everywhere, on base 4 times. Scott locked this one down in the 9th for the save. Splitting this series felt like a win after that sluggish Wednesday game. Let's go over some of the key takeaways from this week. Offensive firepower. The Dodgers lineup continues to be a force, averaging over 6 runs per game this week. Shohei leads the majors with 23 home runs, and we got contributions from Muncy, Freeman, and Smith to keep our offense balanced. Pitching woes, however, continue. The injuries have decimated the starting rotation, with Tyler Glasnow and Blake Snell still on the IL. The bullpen has been very inconsistent, and we're currently sitting at about 23rd in the majors in ERA. That's got to get better, and hopefully we'll get some pitchers returning over the next few weeks, and that will kind of stabilize. But right now, that's our weakest point. Our defense has, oddly enough, been pretty stable. The Dodgers are at a .988 fielding percentage, currently 8th in the majors. To me, that's kind of shocking to look at because I don't think that game in and game out we're playing crisp baseball, but the numbers don't lie, and they're there, and they have come in. The fielding prowess has come in handy a few times and saved our butts. For the week, the Dodgers scored 45 runs. They allowed 34. The Dodgers got 63 hits. 18 of those were extra base hits. We committed 3 errors. We hit 12 home runs. That accounted for 60% of our runs, which is fairly consistent with what the year's been so far. It's in the 50s as far as runs generated by way of home run. Here's a concerning trend. Runners left in scoring position, 43. We currently lead the majors in getting runners in that are in scoring position, but 43 is not a good sign for the future or where we're at right now. So that's got to change. Injury updates. Tyler Glasnow. I'll speak about this in my rant section a little bit later. He's currently out with shoulder discomfort, although he argues that. Blake Snell has resumed throwing and getting ready to resume or take part in some bullpen sessions. So hopefully we'll get some news and maybe a date of return for him. Mookie Betts missed 4 games with a fractured toe, but he was back in the lineup this week. So that's very good to hear. Okay, let's talk about the Tyler Glasnow situation, because is it just me or is this getting weird? Officially, he's on the IL with right shoulder inflammation. The team says they're being precautionary. Glasnow himself told reporters this week that he feels ready and fine. So why hasn't he been ramped up yet? Look, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but when your big money ace has an ugly rain-soaked meltdown in Philly and then conveniently goes on the shelf, it raises some questions. Was it precaution? Was it performance? Is there a communication gap between player and staff? All I know is I'm not entirely sold that Glasnow is the bulldog we need come October. And that's not panic, it's just calling it like a fan. Now, while we're on the subject of the pitching staff, can we get a standing ovation for Jack Dreyer and Ben Kasperius? These guys were basically the break the glass in case of emergency bullpen arms back in March. Now, they've combined for a boatload of scoreless frames and have stabilized the bullpen when the so-called veterans have wobbled. I'll admit it, I didn't even have Kasperius on my radar, and now he's become the please have him warm up guy. If you told me back in April that these two would be our bullpen backbone, I'd have laughed. Now, I'm thinking of buying the jerseys. Bottom line, Glasnow's situation has me nervous. Dreyer and Kasperius, they're the unexpected comfort food we didn't know we needed. Baseball, man, it's always new and it always surprises you. Now let's talk about Max Muncy. Because if there's one Dodger who's capable of driving us completely insane and winning us a game in the same week, it's Mad Max. His 2-homer game Tuesday was vintage Muncy. Big swings, big moments, big bat flip. And when this guy gets hot, he can absolutely carry an offense, which is why we usually live with a 210 batting average and the occasional golden sombrero night. But when the 9th inning rolls around and you need someone to turn around a high fastball, who you calling? It's still Max in my book. That being said, the streakiness is real. The Dodgers have leaned heavily on top of the order consistency this year. Freeman, Ohtani, and Betts. But if Muncy and Teoscar can time one of their hot streaks with an October run, look out. This lineup could be an absolute nightmare. Until then, we'll all keep riding the Muncy roller coaster. Hands up, eyes closed, hoping for more of those majestic moonshots. So let's take a quick look at what's next. The Dodgers go on the road for 6 games, including 3 over the weekend with the Cardinals, June 6th, 7th, and 8th, and then 3 on the West Coast at Petco with the Padres, June 9, 10, and 11. Dodgers currently are 15 and 14 on the road, so we can flip that narrative with a good trip. The Cardinals series is the last leg of a 9-game homestand for them, and I'm sure the crowds will be in full throat. It'll also be a homecoming of sorts for Tommy Edman, so expect a generous ovation for him, as he was a Cardinals favorite before we snagged him. Padres, I expect nothing less than an emotional series. Padres are kind of in the same spot we are. They're right on our heels. They started off the year hot, and they've kind of cooled off, but just like us, they're managing to stay afloat. But I expect a very competitive and emotional series. Hey, thanks for visiting the Dodgers Diner. What's your take on the Dodgers' performance this week? What's your take on the season so far? Share your thoughts and predictions for the upcoming series in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more weekly wraps and insights. See you later.